Alright, hi guys. Gotta look at the camera, of course. This is another stream in the cleaner room than it used to be. It's a lot cleaner, but still needs a little bit of work. But I thought I'd show off, in case you haven't seen it already. I moved the neck pickup in here a little bit closer to the bridge. It does make a huge difference. I'll show you. These are glary pickups and preamp and neck, and then this is an AliExpress body, bridge, and strings, as well as tuners. So, anywho, I'll show you. So, I'll turn on the bass. Strings there. Let me try that again. Both pickups in there. So anyway, a little bit of shitty playing for you. Not typically a pick player, just going to be honest with you guys. Usually my fingers, and I still can't figure out that I need to start with the second finger or instead of the first finger. A lot of times I'm just going with one finger, so not that that's a bad thing, but if I want to go any faster, I got to use two. I know Jamerson only needed one, but his attack was completely different. So was, in fact, if you want a real modern player, you could take A. Lee, for example. I think he might have used one or maybe both fingers and used a nail. But anyway, I thought that this was pretty cool, just to show you some stuff. I finally figured out the sidechain compression, I think. We'll have to check it later. I'm going to have to check it later after the stream, see if all the audio levels actually worked out. I would hate to put too much compression on the bass because it has such a wide range, and we don't want to squash it too much in post-processing, at the very least. At least if I was going to have it squashed, I should do it within the mixer or something along those lines, rather than doing it in the OBS, which I'm using. Looks like we were at about 9 gigabytes, 10 megabytes, I'm sorry. That's kilobits. It says 10,000 kilobits, not bytes. Bytes would be a big B. So we're going that's still pretty slow. So it's one of the things you gotta learn is the technical terms for a lot of this technology stuff. Otherwise, you end up getting screwed. So an amp, for example, might say that it's 1,000 watts peak, but we really want the RMS, root mean squared. So yeah, it stands for root mean squared. My buddy told me all about it, but and also knowing what the ohm value, what the resistance is of the amp and the speaker. So that's very important because certain amps don't work with certain speakers, even though they might say the same amount of watts. So anyway, that's your little lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me play a little bit, and I hope the volume isn't too crackly or jangly or just not right, you know? It would be great if the volume works out. So I have I'll show you some other stuff here in a second. So let me find this way to take these off. The noise canceling headphones are nice, but I like to hear what's happening in the room. So this bass, you've seen it before. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. The stock Glary preamp has a volume knob, a 3-band EQ with only boost, and a pan pot for the pickups. And of course, Glary being cheap like that, the pan pot doesn't actually go in between the pickups in increments. It's just a selector basically. So you can select both pickups, neck pickup or bridge pickup. So that's basically all you got. Neck pickup, bridge pickup, and both pickups. Eventually I do want to put a bit of preamp and pickup set in here. These ones are kind of fragile and they sound not that great. They don't sound good. So the volume pot's here, and if I'm not touching the strings, it really rings out. Gotta touch the bridge or something metal that's attached. Strap buttons won't do it, but yeah, it's just and then you got your treble pot. I can turn that down. Speakers don't like that. Bass pot, pan pot, mid pot, and then of course the volume pot. And of course the jack. I had to take out the original jack and then mount it to this plate. So there's a lot of tone lost when you have the bass off, and of course it rattles and it's not even secure in there. I don't know where the original plate went. What's wrong? Cool, right? I think this chord's still good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, change out basses. You all know this one. I'm gonna have to turn down the amp, or maybe even In case you don't know it already, we're going to turn the volume off. Get that string nice and loose. Snap it against the fingerboard. All the way up the neck because there's dirt up there. See? Much better. Alright, now we can get our tuner. I don't have my tuner on the computer anymore. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Alright, D string. I shouldn't have taken the tuner off. A string. Watch all of that. Here, let me move over just a bit so you can see. Do that a couple times, and then as you're tuning up, make sure to continue doing it. I'm going to do the A string again because I think I might have missed. So, another thing you can do is either if you have aftershave or you have some isopropyl alcohol, you can wipe down the strings. I gotta find my cloth though. I have a specific cloth that I use for that. I did this on my upright bass as well earlier, a while back. But cloth, an old t-shirt should work, even old underwear. Something that you don't care too much about anymore. Let's just use this old sock. This should work fine. So I'm going to get the isopropyl 70%. Yep, there you go. And we're just going to get a little bit of that on there. And while you're at it, you can wipe down the body and the neck. This stuff shouldn't hurt the body that much on a solid body, guitar or bass. In fact, it'll clean it. Most cleaners have oil and stuff like that in it. See, this is looking better already. Let's get in those strings. get in that bridge. Those knobs. I'm really gonna get in there. And all the dents, back plate. All right, let's close up the isopropyl. And then here comes our next step. Oh, it's right here. Perfect. This stuff is called Fast Fret by GHS. And it's perfect for cleaning strings and making them smooth again. In fact, what did I do with that sock? Sitting on it. I'm gonna do the fingerboard. I think I'm gonna pull this under. Yeah. See, that's better already. Get that not clean. The tuners actually need to be cleaned too, because they get dirty. Grime and filth on the tuners is not good for them. It makes them tarnish. So, anywho. Let's have a listen to it now. This is the secret sauce, and not everybody likes this. This is good on flat wound specifically, so sometimes I like it, other times I'm like, yeah, that made a minor difference. A difference to the cleanliness of the strings. You get a lot of that junk and finger goo off, as well as boogers and stuff like that off of there. So. Fingerboard is designed for that. So the next thing we do is we take our cloth, I'm going to put it underneath the strings, pull it over. I'll do this real quick. Upright bass, when you do this, you want to avoid where the area between the fingerboard and the bridge, that little area where the bow goes. In fact, even up for some orchestral players, you might even be on the fingerboard, depending on how long your fingerboard is and everything. Some people play that up that far, but anyway, it's good to not touch that area. I first would go over there with isopropyl alcohol and a cloth that you don't care terribly much about, like this one. It was just sitting here on top of my speaker. This microfiber cloth can take some abuse, and you know, you just put a little alcohol on it, and then you can wash it later. I gotta get some of this other stuff here. and slippery. And they're great for playing. It keeps them nice and slippery. So what you do, every time that you're done, pretty much every time that you're done, you're going to take the cloth, examine it. You might want to examine it, see how dirty it is. Here's what it looks like for me. It's about time to get this washed or use a new cloth. I got a bunch of black stuff on here from when I did my upright base. So then you take this, make sure the cap is on, and then swivel the cloth around there, and then you put it in your tin. Hopefully you get the one that has the actual metal, because the plastic ones are finicky. I don't like the plastic. If you can get a metal one, that's even better. Need to buy a ton of strings a lot of the time. You can, if they get really grimy, and as long as they're not rusted, you can take them and put them in a pot that you're never going to use again, and then put dish soap in there, and then clean them off. And then once they come out of the boiling water, you boil them for about 15 minutes or so. That should get most of the grime off. And then take each individual string out of there. You want to wrap them up individually rather than as a set. But anyway, you take each individual one out and you unravel it and get a cloth that, like this microfiber cloth right here. And take all the junk off it. And then you might actually want to go through the process of cleaning it again, just in case there's anything else. Just be super cautious. Check this out. You see this screw right here? Just a little bit behind it is where the harmonic is. Yeah, they sound good. That all sounds good. So I would encourage you to do that on your strings. And if you use a less concentrated mix of isopropyl alcohol, that actually helps quite a bit cleaning up the gunk, because if you use a higher concentration, it doesn't get it as well. So it's also good for cleaning computers. That's how I found out about it. That's part of how I found out about it. It's good for burns as well, partially cleaning burns and, well, cuts. It stings like a bitch, but it's good for that. I think that hydrogen peroxide is probably better, but if you have this in a pinch, you can use it for that. It's got all sorts of uses. So as you can see, there's a little bit of smearing on here, but overall, it's a lot cleaner. In some spots, there's a scratch right here. Poor thing. There's a bunch of scratches on this, but anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you would please leave a like, that'd be really appreciated by me. I really would appreciate that. And subscribe if you are down for more videos like this and me goofing off. Anywho, talk to you soon. Bye bye.